Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question that might sting a little, but it could change your life forever. Are you free? Not just free to walk outside, not just free to post on social media or choose your favorite brand of cereal. I mean truly free, free to live on your terms, free from the opinions of others, free from the fear of failure, free from the lies you've been telling yourself. Because here's the truth, and it's not pretty, 98% of people will never be free. Not because they're incapable, not because the system is unbeatable, not because life dealt them a bad hand, no, because they're addicted to comfort. They've chosen the easy path over the meaningful one. They've chosen safety over passion, and most dangerously of all, they've chosen the illusion of freedom over the reality of it. Let me break it down for you. Every day you have a choice, evolve or repeat. That's it. You're either growing or you're dying. You're either breaking chains or you're tightening them, and most people, they choose the slow death. Why? Because freedom has a price, and the price is pain. It's discomfort. It's facing your truth in the mirror when no one else is around. It's waking up at 5 a.m. when your body screams no. It's saying no to toxic people even if they're family. It's risking everything for a dream no one else believes in. But here's what they don't tell you. That pain, it's not punishment, it's the path. It's the proof that you're alive. It's the forge that shapes warriors. It's the only road that leads to the life you were born to live. And yet 98% won't walk it. Because the modern world has seduced you with distractions, Netflix, notifications, numbness. It's trained you to crave dopamine over discipline. But listen to me right now. You were not born to be average. You were not born to punch a clock, pay bills, scroll endlessly, and die quietly. You were born to lead. You were born to build. You were born to break chains. But that only happens when you declare war on the old you. Because let's be real. Your freedom is being held hostage by your comfort zone. Every time you say, I'll do it later. Every time you say, I'm just not ready. Every time you say, what if I fail? You hand the keys of your life over to fear. But what if today, right now, you decided enough playing small, enough hiding, enough lying to yourself? What if you said, today I rise, today I break free? Because here's the secret, freedom doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who hunt it down, and let me tell you, when you finally taste that freedom, when you wake up and realize your life is yours, truly yours, no boss, no doubt, no fear, no limits. It's the most powerful, exhilarating, addictive feeling on earth. So what's it gonna be, the 98%, or the 2%, the cage, or the climb, the comfort, or the calling? Because you can be free, but you have to decide. You have to burn the excuses. You have to fight for it like your life depends on it. Because it does. And if you do that, if you go all in, I promise you, you'll never go back to the cage again. So stand up, dig deep, choose freedom. The 2% is waiting for you. The prison isn't physical, it's psychological. You think you're free because you can make choices like what to eat or what to wear. But those are illusions. Real freedom isn't in your external circumstances, it's in your internal world. And for most people, that world is a prison. It's a mental cage built from limiting beliefs, past pain, childhood programming, and social conditioning. We've been hypnotized into believing we're not enough, that we need to conform, that we should chase approval and avoid risk. That mental programming is the real enemy. It whispers, be safe, don't stand out, what will people think? It tells you to lower your standards, to shrink your dreams so you won't feel disappointed. That voice isn't yours. It's the accumulation of every insecure teacher, every fearful parent, every critical boss, every peer who doubted you. And you've internalized it. Think about it. How many people die at 25 but get buried at 75? That's not poetry, that's real. They stopped living the day they gave up on themselves. They stopped growing when they chose survival over expansion. They got a job they hate, stayed in relationships that drained them, tolerated mediocrity like it was noble. Not because they had no choice, but because they were mentally imprisoned by fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough, fear of success. It's not the chains outside that hold us back. It's the invisible ones inside, the worst part. Most people don't even know they're chained. That's why it's so dangerous. You can't fight a prison you can't see. You can't escape a cell you've been convinced is your home. But here's the truth, the key is already in your hands. You've just forgotten how to use it. You've been so busy following the script, living on autopilot, reacting instead of creating, that you've lost the very essence of what makes you powerful. Choice. You can choose new thoughts. You can choose to challenge the beliefs that are holding you hostage. You can rewire your brain, reclaim your power, and rebuild your life from the inside out. But it takes radical honesty. It takes courage. It takes looking in the mirror and admitting that the problem isn't out there, it's in here. Once you own that truth, you can finally break free, not just temporarily, permanently. The battle is in the mind. Win there, and you win everywhere. Freedom is a choice, not a condition. It's not something you stumble into. It doesn't arrive one day like a package on your doorstep. You decide to be free, you claim it. You fight for it, and you keep choosing it over and over again, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. People think freedom is about circumstances, more money, more time, more opportunities. That's a lie. You can have all those things and still be a slave to your ego, your fears, your addictions, your past. True freedom has nothing to do with what you have. It has everything to do with how you live. Freedom means responsibility. It means you stop blaming, stop making excuses, and stop waiting for someone to save you. You become the hero of your own story. Most people don't want that. They say they do, but what they really want is comfort. They want someone to fix it for them. They want guarantees. They want success without risk, love without vulnerability, joy without discipline. That's not freedom. That's fantasy. Real freedom means you choose your path, even if it's scary. Even if it costs you friends, even if people don't understand. It means you stop waiting for permission and start giving yourself the authority to live boldly, speak truthfully, and act decisively. Freedom demands you take ownership of every area of your life. Your thoughts, your emotions, your results. You stop saying, "I can't," and start asking, "How can I?" You stop saying it's too late, and start declaring, "Now is my time." The moment you make that shift, you step into a whole new dimension of life. You stop playing defense and start playing offense. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop being a passenger and become the driver. But that's a decision you have to make every single day. The world is constantly trying to pull you back into the cage, with fear, with distraction, with doubt. Freedom is a battle, but once you realize it's worth fighting for, you'll never go back. You'll burn the boats, you'll destroy the exit, you'll say, "This is my life, I'm not renting it, I own it." And that ownership is the beginning of everything extraordinary. The comfort zone is a coffin with cushions. It feels soft, safe, familiar, but it's killing you slowly. It's not loud, it's quiet, it's subtle. It tells you things like, "Take it easy, you've done enough, you'll try tomorrow." And day by day it robs you of your power. It convinces you to settle for less energy, less purpose, less passion, less truth, and before you know it, you're living a life that isn't even yours. It's someone else's blueprint, someone else's expectations, someone else's dream. You're not living, you're existing.